Ready? Uh-huh. It's the final show of the year.
Wow.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth.
Get it right this time, girl.
It's episode 643. Ugh. We are down to it.
I know that was
can't
the
believe it.
fastest year of my life.
It did kind of go fast.
You
yes.
know, when our sister Paula decided to take a break from the show,
Yes.
has it been 3 years or has it been 2? I know it's hard to remember, but I feel like it's been 3. I feel like it'll be 3 this coming, because I believe it was like March.
I do believe you're correct. I think it'll be 3 in March.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that was a fast 3 years.
It has gone by quickly. And
me.
we have changed the show significantly.
And I didn't
in the
even
last 2
really
years.
know. I remember reading some comments in the very beginning about people saying like, "Oh, the transition's been so easy." Some people did. I think other people really missed Paula because
Oh, for sure.
she's so.
Yeah.
Her and I are so different.
Yes. Well, that is expected.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're all Uggs and we're all
Yes.
similar in some regard, but Paula and I are different. So 'cause she's got very dark humor and yeah, I mean, she's funny as hell.
Yes. She's
But
very
anyway,
dark.
so I'm just curious to know
I
how
think it's
people
been-
feel now that it's been a while.
I will say this. We got several comments at the conclusion of our Golden Bachelor.
Oh, really?
I got some private messages about the Golden Bachelor series that we did and how much they loved it.
Oh, I was going to say, were they like you? Were they old women that wanted to attack us?
No, but you know what's hilarious is that you and I think we're horrible. And they were like, you were so kind and humane about these women. And I'm like, really?
Well, we're girls. I mean,
We are. And I think that's the thing. It's like we weren't saying, oh, look how
weren't catty.
look how dumb and ugly they are. It
Oh,
had nothing to do
no.
with their like I don't think because we weren't attacking them physically or
No.
anything like that.
We didn't. But here's the thing: we didn't say Kathy is a beautiful woman. What we said was
Kathy does not photograph well.
She
has good angles.
And by the way, I think you and I are both very attractive women.
I can't take a photo to save my life.
And I have seen pictures that horrified me
Stephanie,
of myself.
When people
99% of them, as a matter of fact.
when people will say, "Oh no, that's just what you look like," I'm like,
Like
do
my friend
not-
Veronica?
That's bullshit. That is a lie because I've seen myself. First of all, producer Dub can't take a photo to save his life.
That is the truth.
Thank you, Stephanie, for acknowledging.
And you know,
thank you for
he's my
acknowledging
favorite
that.
brother-in-law,
But he can't take a picture, and then he'll look at him, and I don't even want to know what his phone looks like.
Jamie,
I don't even want to know.
You should really go through it because we all know that when he sent your contact to a friend,
Yeah,
the photo he had of your profile,
and you know I don't send him nudes because of that.
he can't be trusted.
Never, and that was 100 years ago.
He can't be trusted. I would kill him. Oh my God.
I was in Reno when that happened.
I'm so glad it was you and not me. My husband would do something like that.
I'm like, I'm just glad there was no nip because I didn't have underwear on in that photo, but you couldn't see a lip. Thank God. You couldn't
Holy
see any kind
shit.
of lip or butt, but still, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what are you? Well, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too, but I wouldn't send anyone a dick pic.
Right.
This is my husband's contact info. Enjoy his large schlong while you're at it. Like, really?
Oh my God.
Stop. And who uses that as their contact
That's what
photo?
I'm saying. Like that's your contact photo?
I don't think it is anymore.
Well, it better not be. Oh my
Anyway.
God.
Okay, so 2023 is almost over. We're going to do a brief recap and all the stuff that we probably will never talk about again once we go back, and all the things that have happened.
New things happen, and in the new year, new things start happening.
Pop culture is insane. Now, before we go to the old shit, let's talk about the current shit. Jewel and Kevin Costner.
I know. Can you even believe it?
Before we
Jamie
started
didn't.
recording.
She's like, well, it's a rumor. And then she had to look. She's like, oh my God, there's a photo of them
I don't
together.
want it to be real.
I know.
I don't want it to be real. Kevin Costner, he has to stop. Okay, so he's 60. I know you think he's attractive. I think he's a fucking asshole.
I do not. I mean,
He's the worst.
He's not ugly. I mean,
He's a dick.
If he wasn't a dick, he wouldn't look ugly.
I don't know
right?
how many times.
He's not my type.
How many people have to say, no, he's a fucking asshole?
Yeah.
Before people, what does Jewel think she can save him? Heal him in some way?
Interestingly, the article I read was that she said, I've been looking for a good, kind man. And
He's none of those things.
He's it. And
he's
I'm like,
literally none of those things.
that's why I was like, wait, what? But the thing is I love love Jewel.
I love Jewel.
I've been following her TikTok, which I love.
Yeah.
She's very, very real and still really down to earth for as successful and rich as she is.
I love her.
So I'm like, wait, maybe she sees something we don't. Maybe we don't know.
You know what? I hate that. You know why? It's one of those. Well, you don't know what he's like when we're alone. That's crap.
Right.
That's garbage. I'm like, oh, so it's fine that he treats the help like shit, but as long as he's nice to you and goes down on you every time, he's a wonderful man.
I don't know.
Give me a break.
Well, we'll see. He, like you said, he's on the rebound.
Yeah,
so I
hardcore.
don't necessarily think that this will last.
And you know what? It happened in the Bahamas. anything can happen in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's your tropical paradise.
It's sultry.
It's charity. You're there, you're giving back, and everybody's feeling good.
Got some rum going.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Men like Kevin Costner, I think successful men need to be with other successful women. That is a prerequisite.
I think that's
so
true.
that you're not with each other for any other reason. Like you have money, I have money, we're good. Which is why I love Kelsey and Taylor,
which is another thing on the list.
They don't need each other for that.
They do not need each other's money. They don't need each other's coattails
at all.
She's way more successful than he is.
She does, but
that's kind of an advantage.
It's fine. And the other thing is like, okay, so maybe he's not worth $1 billion like she is.
No.
But NFL players, their contracts, we're talking tens of millions of dollars.
He's never ever
He's not broke. He's not like barely rich.
He's a multimillionaire.
He's fucking rich. Okay.
Money is not going to be a factor in their lives. Nobody's worried about who's paying the rent.
No.
Yeah, it's true. So I don't understand. And on one hand, I know 69 is not ancient anymore in this day and age, as we've learned on The Golden Bachelor.
Right.
But Jewel is almost 50.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big age gap.
It is.
I know that you are in a age gap marriage.
Huge one.
Daryl's mom married somebody who was about the age difference that Jewel and Kevin and they were together for 30 or 40 years.
Forever.
So I know that it can work.
Yeah, I can.
But let's be real.
I think it can work.
Isn't this his fourth or fifth marriage?
I believe it would. Well, he's not marrying to Jewel. They just started dating, but yes. I think Christine Baumgartner was his fifth marriage.
He has 100 kids.
Actually, you know what? No, I looked it up. I think was his third marriage.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
He did the whole thing where before they're rich and famous, they marry a regular person.
Yeah, and then
they get famous and dump them. Yeah.
Right.
And then the first young, hot girl who wants to marry him, he marries and has kids with.
And then they go,
yeah, well,
I'm feeling my age. I need someone young to keep me young. So he marries some 20-year-old.
Totally.
And she's not dumb. Somebody goes, get a kid immediately because your prenup is garbage. And at least with child support, you'll get $500,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's always so funny when these people get divorced and they're mega wealthy. And she's like, well, I have to have $250,000 a month to survive.
Because she's been living like a fucking queen for the last 15, 20 years.
And I'm like, $250,000 a month?
Yeah, she's not going to go back to living like a peasant.
Not only that, though, Stephanie, is that he can afford it.
Oh, I know.
That's what's crazy.
The man is rich as shit. Yeah.
It's like the fact that he can be like, fine,
I'll settle.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But Kevin Costner is very, very successful. If you look at his career,
that's like $6 million a year.
It is.
And to me, I'm like, just write me the fucking check, dude.
He freaking produced Waterworld, which means he financed it, and the movie was a flop.
It's garbage.
But how do you just take $30 million and be like, I'm going to make this movie?
Yeah,
because nobody else wants to make it, so I'll put the money in myself.
I'm trying to think of a time when I actually liked Kevin Costner, and I can't think of one.
Well, I
liked him. You know what? I liked him in that one baseball movie with Susan Sarandon.
Oh, Sarandon. Yeah, that was actually one of my least favorite movies. Major League. Yeah.
Was that it?
Well, no. Yeah. No.
No.
Wait.
The baseball movie.
He's been in a bunch of baseball movies.
When he was really young, he was in The Outsiders. Wasn't he in The Outsiders?
Probably. That was. Oh
my God. I'm getting so much wrong right now. Daryl's probably laughing.
Screaming at the thing.
First of all, Daryl likes Kevin Costner because he loves Field of Dreams and all that stuff.
I hate that fucking movie.
I hate it too.
I hate it. Just like I hate The Natural. Jerry loves that movie. And
with Robert Redford.
You like it. Everyone likes it. I'm literally the only one. The cheese stands alone.
I'll be honest with you, Stephanie. I've never seen it from beginning to end.
It's fucking stupid.
In my life.
And Kim Basinger, I can't with her.
Oh, she's in it?
She is.
Okay.
Yeah, and the girl that shoots him and maims him when he's young.
He gets shot?
Yes. That's
I've never seen this movie.
Well, you should watch it even though I hate it.
I don't want to.
Oh my God.
I'm going to watch Grease 2.
Yeah. So remember the chick that was in Beaches, who was the one that died at the end? What's her name? Hillary in the movie, but she's really whoever.
Okay.
Well, she's the villain in the movie The Natural. She's crazy.
There's a bad guy in The
Natural.
Well,
she's insane, like legit insane, like 5150 insane.
Yeah.
And she shoots she shoots what's his name? And so between her and Kim Basinger being the love interest, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, I've never been a Kevin Costner fan, and I never understood his appeal. I always thought he looked like an a-hole. In fact, when he tried to redo the Wyatt Earp thing, I hated it. I'm like, you can't beat Kurt Russell. I'm sorry.
I know.
There's only one Wyatt Earp in film, and it ain't
God,
you.
I love that movie.
Stephanie, Tombstone is top
Iconic.
tier.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2023, many things occurred. We probably won't discuss again once we come and go from not you and I, but just the world.
Generally, we'll forget.
We'll
shed it like a leaf.
It'll get brought up on occasion, but for the most part, not really.
No one cares.
First of all,
nothing super prolific happened this last year that I can think of.
Okay, well,
maybe you can remind me.
Let's go to the roll.
Okay.
First of all, the obsession with Austin Butler.
Oh yeah, I went through it.
We all went through it.
Well, I think he probably made so much money off Elvis.
He won for Best Actor.
He didn't win anything.
Yes, he did win.
I thought he won nothing.
He won. Austin Butler won. See, we already how quickly we forget.
I just remember watching the.
In fact, when he won, he used his Elvis voice, and everybody thought that was weird.
Yeah, they did, but I thought it was kind of cute.
The government admitted that there are aliens.
Fuck.
Yeah, that just came and went like the ship in the night.
Because I am so not an alien believer.
Well, no, they admit there is aliens. It's just not probably what we envision them to be, but that there's definitely alien.
Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow's ski trial. Remember when she got sued for running into somebody?
A man.
A lawyer.
Yeah, of course. She won.
Well, he had sued her multiple times, and they kept throwing him out of court saying this is frivolous. And then finally, somehow, he got a little traction. And she's like, fine. So she showed up in her quiet luxury. And everybody was like,
yeah.
That's when she started kind of doing this weird press junket where she was sitting with her doctor going, well, I have liquid IV for breakfast.
She's such a fucking weirdo.
Dude.
To say the least.
Okay. Ariana Grande broke up a marriage with a human frog.
Yeah.
He looks like a human frog. And what's crazy is that this man was married and his wife was attractive.
Well, and let's not forget Kim Kardashian dated Pete. What's his name?
Was that this year though?
Yes. It was the beginning of the year.
Really? Or did they break up at the beginning of the year? Pete Davidson went to rehab this year. I know that.
Yeah, I want to say that they bled into the beginning of 2023, but yeah.
Okay.
That came and went. They dated for 9 months.
The summer of Barbie was this year.
Yes.
And it was amazing.
I don't want to forget that.
I don't want to forget it either. And I don't know. I loved it. But it did, in reality though, it did come and go.
It did.
You know,
like everything does.
I have my pink Christmas tree this year.
I still have the shirt I wore.
Hey, Barbie. Oh,
yeah.
And I still have the soundtrack. I freaking love it.
I'm ready for it to come out so we can watch it, so we can stream it. I refuse to pay for it.
Oh, is it? You have to pay for it?
You still have to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
But that won't last.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
On that same vein, we kind of briefly touched on it. It was also the year of Taylor Swift. She basically took over the world with her tour,
with her Eras tour,
which we could not get tickets to because I refused to pay $3,000 a ticket.
I know. Even though your husband is like somebody.
No.
I'm like, he even couldn't get tickets.
Nobody could get tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, well, at one point he goes, I can get I can't get 4 seats. I think it was the Santa Clara show.
The San Jose show.
Santa Clara.
Or whatever. It was the one that got closest to us. Did she play Levi Stadium, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, and it was going to be like, I don't know, like 2,000 or 2,500 for 4 seats.
Oh, okay. But
they were shitty seats. And I'm like, I'm not spending thousands of dollars
sit in the nosebleed
to
section.
sit in heaven and watch screens all night. And that's dumb. I'd rather be at the hotel across the street.
Totally.
And pay $200 for a room and just stand on the balcony or something.
Yeah, I love her too. And I would love to go to one of her shows, but I wouldn't want to do it like that either.
No, but you know what I did do is I streamed it live on TikTok every single night that she was in the United States. I literally watched every show on TikTok because people were awesome and they streamed it live. and I got to see it.
If I really, and I thought I would do it, but I haven't, is go to see her movie. That's a thing now. Her and Beyonce.
My daughter did go see it at the movie, and she said it was amazing.
I've heard it was so fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was like going to see Barbie.
Yeah, yes. Exactly.
She said it was great
with a bunch of Swifties, and fuck yes, I could do it. I'll wear a glitter skirt.
Everybody did.
Everybody
did. Yeah. So I know you didn't watch the Sex and the City spinoff and Just Like That.
I haven't, but I just recently brought Max back.
Okay,
I had gotten rid of Max because I wasn't watching anything on it, and I just got it back. So it's on my list of things.
2 seasons.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna hate it, but you're gonna keep.
I'm gonna watch it because now I've seen so many mini clips of episodes on TikTok that I kind of have I have way more than I knew.
The opinions were so strong.
Yeah.
On the I
heard the second season was better than the first.
It was better in the sense that
they weren't shoving all of these issues down our throat.
They weren't trying to force us. They were trying not to force educate progression on us.
Yeah.
The problem that we all had, for those of us who watched it the first round, was they were sorely underestimating their viewer as if we didn't already know about LGBTQ or non-binary or women's issues or all these things. They're acting like the original show didn't ever address it, even though they addressed it poorly many times.
Well, I mean, the show's old. The original Sex and the City, it was old as fuck.
It's dated in the sense that we still love it, but educated the way we are now.
Right, but we have majorly progressed since the show started. So for me, I don't blame shows that are dated for what they did at the time, because what we were doing at the time, that's all we knew.
But what we think is that the Michael Patrick Starr, wait, is that the guy? Yeah. He's an asshole. And he clearly doesn't like women. Based on the way this show is run.
I'm sorry, but Sarah Jessica Parker is a fucking executive producer, and she has been for a long time.
I know. And
so what the fuck is her excuse?
She's a prude. And we've always said that about her, even in the original show. Anyway, the reason I bring it up is that...
Well, she slut shames all the other actresses.
Yes, she does.
But then she makes herself... But all her sex scenes are in a bra.
Samantha Jones made an appearance on the season
so I've heard.
finale.
Yeah, but she refused to film with any of the other actresses.
And they paid her so much money.
Oh, I would have too.
They reached out,
like,
they
you
said,
want me to come on?
What can we do? And she's like, well, you can pay me this much money, and I want the original costume designer, and I don't want to see any of those bitches. And they're all done and done.
Yep.
So Samantha Jones, as far as the show is concerned, she's still in London. She's thriving. Mm-hmm. She's being driven around in limos. Good. She's still wearing her Prada, and she looks fabulous. So anyway,
in real life, she does look fucking amazing.
She's stunning.
She looks so much better than really all of them.
I would agree with
Kristen,
you on that.
What's her name? Not Kristen Stewart. Fuck, why can't I think of her name?
I don't know, but Charlotte.
She does look amazing.
She looks very good.
Yeah.
But I think she's younger than the other ones.
She is a little bit younger.
Anyway, so that happened this year. The whole season finale with Samantha Jones. And it did make waves for a lot of women who were huge fans of the show.
Yeah.
Damar Hamlin. Do you remember Damar Hamlin? The player that died on the field?
Well,
Monday Night Football?
His heart stopped. Yes.
Yes, several times.
And he's playing again.
It happened the first Monday Night Football of the year this year.
That's so crazy.
And it was paralyzing.
It really was.
Everybody, the whole world stopped.
They stopped the game.
Well, they had to.
That never happens.
He died.
Well, yes. But
that was huge.
It was huge.
People were absolutely traumatized.
It was crazy, right?
His mother was there.
I know, Jamie.
I would not have recovered, and I would have been like, "You're never playing again."
Which shocks the hell out of me.
Which is why he's playing now.
But wants to play.
It was a weird hit that happened, which it's been discussed to death.
But you wouldn't be scared that it could happen again.
I would be. I would be like, "You're never playing again." But this was what was amazing is that not only did he fully recover, and he's still in the NFL and he's still playing. People. When things like that happen, people feel so helpless. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what can we do other than wait? He had a little charity that he set up before he was barely in the pros.
Yeah.
It had like a $2,500 GoFundMe. And he's like, I just want to donate some toys to this little charity. Mm-hmm. And it ended up getting like
millions,
$6 million in like days.
Which is amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him.
Now he has like a foundation. So something good came of it.
The Damar Hamlin Foundation.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It ended up and thank God it had a happy ending. I mean, I'm just so glad that all worked out.
Because it so rarely does.
It just crazy.
Yeah, that was
on that same note. Jeremy Renner almost killed himself this year
in Lake Tahoe,
New Year's Day.
Yeah. Close to home.
He was up near Homewood, and he basically almost cut his legs off.
He ran himself over
with a snowmobile or snowblower.
Yeah,
or no,
some kind of It was a snow. It was a snowplow.
Snowplow.
He owned his own little snowplow because he lives on a property that has.
And the only reason he's alive today is because his neighbor was a doctor.
That's true.
And the doctor called and said, "We need a helicopter,
or he's going to die."
And they brought him in. And I mean, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. His therapy is he runs up and down his driveway.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
I did see
Daryl's
that.
like, "Did you see that?" And I said, "I did. I'm very happy for him."
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he has a show that came out on Disney Plus.
I think
it's a reality show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like in production. No, it was something that was already in the works, but this injury was like a huge, like, I can't remember how it all played out, but it was one of the things, like, he was like, I had to get better because I had this huge project that I was so excited about. And
he literally looked like he got chewed up.
Yeah.
His face, everything. He was a mess.
He was.
I'm really glad. That must have been so harrowing.
Horrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prince Harry's book Spare came out this year.
Nobody cared.
Did
you read it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. Here's the thing about the whole trying to get the world to have any kind of empathy for a royal prince is hard.
I mean, I think we all have empathy if you know the story of his mother and all of that. Yes. And that's where I get split. Because I finally caught up with The Crown this year, and I know The Crown is a drama, and I know it's not all real, but I think the foundation of some of the storyline is real. It's based on the
timeline of his mother's death is real.
Yes. So and just as a parent, putting your child in that situation and imagining whether you're rich, poor, no matter what. I think it was worse for him than it would be for a regular person.
Well, just because he was on display,
the publicity. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about Prince Harry. I think that he's trying desperately to live in both worlds, is what I think.
I agree.
I think he wants both. His beef is that he can't, when he goes to London with his family, he can't have the same security, etc.
He wants to be treated the way he's always used to be treated for his whole life.
And yet he doesn't want any of the work that comes with it. And I just don't think that's how it works.
No.
And so I don't know. I mean, it's not champagne problems because his life and his children and his wife are in danger when they go there.
I agree.
But I don't know. It's hard for me to have
it's hard for me too. Yeah.
I mean, I know that his mother's death was significant and it clearly traumatized him beyond. Sure. But, we all have lives that are traumatizing. Yeah.
And the thing is like, all of
and now
us,
it's his identity.
Our Americans, we like to look at the royals and make our judgments about their traditions and the way that they do things. And we have all these strong opinions about how dated it is and this and that. But British people, and not all British people.
No, not a lot of them.
No. And they don't feel as extreme as we do. No. Like, they may have opinions about it and think the monarchy and all of that, but they still love their royals and they still love that piece of it. And maybe just not in the way that it's always been.
The mentality that I've always been told is that if they got what they wanted, where they eliminated the monarchy, which has been in place for thousands of years, basically, they wouldn't know what to do. Like, who would they be? Who would England be if they didn't have the monarchy? Absolutely. And it's their right to bitch about it, just like it's our right to bitch about whatever.
About our politics.
Whatever. Right. Yeah. So for them, it's like, if we just eliminate this, then they're going to be like, well, now what? Yeah. Are we just American?
They really don't want to.
They don't really.
No. But they're, and it's fair. Like, I feel like if anybody's able to have an opinion, strong, adverse, whatever it is, let it be them. It's their thing. So that's like why for me, it's hard with Harry, because I'm like, look, dude, like,
he wants it all.
I know you want to be progressive, and we all want to be progressive, and even people in UK want to be progressive, but it isn't there yet. No. And we haven't even had a fucking woman president here in the United States yet. Like, we all want that, but it hasn't happened.
Right.
Probably will eventually, but until we get the right candidates, it just hasn't happened. So you either accept what it is, and that's your life, and it sucks. So parts of it are still shitty.
Yeah.
But if if that's what you want, then you have to all the things that go with it.
Yes.
And he's like you said, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
And then I
think he's miserable here in the United States. I think he's like, I can't stand these motherfucking Westerners.
I don't know.
I do. I think so. I think he likes certain liberties and freedoms like we have. anonymity when he wants it.
I think what happens, I think it's a culture shock, just like anything. You know, he probably was like, I didn't realize how many of my needs were taken care of until now.
Yeah.
Like now they have to have a team and they have
to pay for it.
Pay for everything. Yeah. And he's never had to pay for a thing in his life.
Millions and millions of dollars.
It's almost like when you hear those stories about people who are, you know, they become president and their wallet literally goes in storage. Like they don't need anything
They
anymore.
don't have a credit card.
They have nothing. They don't need it. House keys, what? Like they don't carry, they don't
drive.
It's not like a normal person.
Right.
So when they try to do something like I'm getting in the car to go do this, they're like, sir, no, you're not, because you are literally a world leader.
Yeah, we can't have you get in a car accident and kill yourself by accident.
Plus, you don't know who's out there watching us.
Well, I mean, there's just so many things they could. Yeah, like,
and it's the same with
President Obama
family.
used to say that. He used to say that he would want to get into the car and drive around the property at the White House just so he could drive again. Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Sir, no. Like, what if you accidentally get in an accident?
What if you kill someone
or you injure yourself? Like, we need you to be here to run the country."
Yeah, it's a crazy mentality. So I would just think it's the opposite for someone like Prince Harry, where he goes,
now somebody has to go to the grocery store.
All of my needs were met and I didn't think a thing of it. I just had to sit down and it was there for me. And now it's like I have to pay people.
Yeah.
Myself.
I have to have my own staff.
I have to have a chef. I have to have nannies. I have to security team.
Someone has to put gas in my car.
Do you know? I wonder how much time they spend a day dealing with their daily needs.
Well, they usually have house managers.
I'm sure they do, but you still got to talk to them every day.
Yeah. Well, you got to tell them what it is, how you want things. I mean, that's the life of a rich person, though. Anyway,
I will tell you this: I would be so sick of. I'd be like, I don't want to talk about myself for even one more minute.
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone.
It depends.
Like, I don't give a shit anymore about what I'm having for breakfast next week.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about my flight schedule. I don't want to talk about anything. Yeah. I would be so over it.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have a massive property and things that need to be cared for and scheduling and children.
Wouldn't you get sick of it?
I mean,
yes, you would get sick of it. Yeah. I'd be like, no, I want to be a prince again. I don't want to think.
Well, that's why even like Kim Kardashian's kids, they even say like, we want to be with our dad because it's a normal life over there. He doesn't have chefs.
I'm just bipolar.
Well, yeah, he's fucking crazy. Yeah. But what they're saying is like when we go to his house, there's no staff. There's no nannies. Yeah. There's no drivers. Like he does everything normal.
No.
And so they like, we want that. Like we don't want to come to our mom's house where there's people running the property and this and that. Yeah.
Well,
they're over it.
That's the price.
And they're 10.
That's the price you pay.
Yeah.
And you have success. Okay. Now some people did die this year as well. Number one, Matthew Perry died. And it was
huge.
So for us, I mean, for me, it was very sad.
It was big for a lot of people.
Yeah. It was a sad one. Suzanne Summers died, which I've always liked her. Like I've just always liked her.
She's just a good human.
She was one of the first women outside of Jane Fonda who was like, hey, women have menopause and there's things we can do about it. We don't have to just sit here and be pathetic.
And she got fired from Three's Company for refusing to make less money than the male.
She wanted the same amount of money that
she's like, why is he making so much fucking money? I'm literally the other hand of the show.
And they're like, you can't fire me. And they're like, oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And it was never the same.
Well, she just basically was like, either
they kept replacing her with people, and it never worked.
That looked like her, and it
never worked.
Dumb.
She was iconic.
She was,
and I'm sad that she died.
Me too.
Pee Wee Herman died.
Yeah, he did.
He had cancer.
That was a trip.
That was sad.
It was sad. I don't know. I just used to think he was a child molester. I know he wasn't. I know he wasn't.
No.
But we all had those icky feelings about him when he got caught like masturbating in a movie theater.
In a porn theater. And you know what sucks about that too is that if he had just waited, I don't know, 5 years, he would have internet. And it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It sucks, but whatever. Ryan O'Neal just died, by the way. Did you know that?
What? I always know when people die.
Ryan O'Neal died. It was like no big deal.
Why did he die?
He's old.
He wasn't that old. He was an alcoholic.
Well, he was puffy.
Yeah, he had definitely had substance issues.
Yeah, he passed away. It was a blip.
Wow.
It was like nobody. And I just remember that he was really abusive to Farrah Fawcett. So
well, and his children have said bad things about him.
Yeah, so I really never gave him much respect. Once I knew about his violence with his family, it was hard for me to go.
Yeah, his kid said he was a bad dad.
He wasn't good. So I think that's why it was a blip. Because if they made too much of a deal of it,
then people would feel like they were glorifying an asshole.
You mean that domestic violence guy? Oh, yeah. And, whatever. Sinead O'Connor. passed away this year.
Very, very sad. She was such a complicated human being. And
I just want to say that she died of a broken heart. She never recovered from her son.
Well, it wasn't even that long.
18 months.
Yeah, she couldn't. Yeah. And I honestly, we relate, right?
Oh, yeah.
I literally can't.
I can't imagine. Treat Williams passed away this year.
That was sad.
And not a bad word to say about him. Not
He was
one person.
Yes. I'm going to go home and watch a Hallmark movie with him.
He was in Hallmark movies?
Yes, at the end. You know what?
Know
These celebrities that didn't continue to make these ginormous films, like big screen films, they were like, look, I want to work and everything, but I don't, I'm fine. Give me $1 million to do a Hallmark movie. I'll do 5 a year.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's great.
And they're doing it.
Lacey Chabert has had a full
of them
film, and she's good.
Fuck the one chick from Channel 3 from Days of Our Lives, the blonde girl that used, God damn it, what's her name? Allison something.
Oh, Allison, yes.
Allison Sweeney.
Allison Sweeney she's a Hallmark
She's
queen.
now a Hallmark lady.
And she's very
good. And she's fucking loving it.
You know what? I don't hate the Hallmark channel.
Jamie, I just subscribed to it.
You have to pay for it?
Well, yes. They're no dummy. They're like,
God.
fuck you. We'll take your $5.99 a month.
Dang it.
Because they're all B-list celebs. But I'm telling you.
Yeah, they are.
Jamie, I started watching Christmas in the Harbor. Jerry was in there in like 5 minutes sitting on the couch like eating popcorn like,
oh God.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I'm like,
I do think that Netflix has created a stream of those types of films.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm not getting into it.
I'm just not.
I just never.
If I come upon one and it catches my eye, if it's really cheesy, I'll watch it. Like there was one, and there was nobody that I knew. It was obviously it was a little town, a woman coming back to save her.
It's a quiet village.
Family's Christmas tree farm thing.
Yes.
And the lumberjack is, angry with her. They were high school sweethearts. He's like, you're just a selfish bitch. And she's like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they're madly in love. Mm-hmm. It was one of those. And then there was one where she was a businesswoman and she was coming in to Napa to save a vineyard.
Jamie, I've been looking for that movie. That is the reason why I subscribed to Hallmark, because I thought it was that.
Well, it was Hallmark.
But it was on Netflix?
No. I don't know.
I can't find it.
Have you Googled it?
I've tried.
All right, I'll look for it. That was a good one, actually. I did watch that one.
I loved that movie.
And what do you think she did?
I saw it on a whim.
Do you think she ended up staying, or do you think she went back to New York?
No, she stayed.
She went back to New York initially. And then she, opens a bottle of wine
and started
remembering. And she's like, na, 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 na.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go back.
Well, and there's another one, and please, somebody help me if you know what this one is, but it's the girl, her father owns a liquidation firm where basically you hire somebody to sell when you're going to sell your estate. To come in and price your things and tell you what you should get for them.
Yeah.
So this rich guy who owns a mansion, I want to say it's Napa, or it was somewhere in California to where I was like, ooh, I'm going to watch this. And she goes there and he's really mean to her and he's bitter and he's an asshole. Yeah, his fiance died unexpectedly.
Oh, of course.
It's kind of Beauty and the Beast-esque.
Okay.
Because she goes in this room and he's like, don't ever go in there again.
Oh, God.
That was my fiance's favorite room. And it's all dingy and like he's let it
Everything's
go.
covered in dust.
Yes, and there's a dead flower in there. The last, because she loved roses. And now nobody's allowed to have roses in the house anymore.
Oh, for the love of God, I have to watch it.
It's the fucking stupidest thing ever, but I could not stop watching it.
Well, anyway, so Treat Williams, you're part of that, and we are appreciative.
I'm like, how did we get on this subject?
Tina Turner died this year.
I know.
I don't remember that.
I do. She was old, but
you're simply the best.
Right.
I loved her.
I fell in love with Tina when I saw her movie.
Oh my God.
I couldn't with that.
It was insane what she put up with.
And it's still, to this day, one of those movies that when it comes on, I struggle to watch it.
I can't watch it.
But I watch it. And
I've watched
Angela
it.
Bassett, my God, that woman.
I love Angela Bassett.
And the guy that played her fucking asshole husband. God, he was so good in that movie.
If you hated him, you know it's good.
Yes, exactly.
And then finally, Jerry Springer died this year.
He did. That was another weird one.
That was a weird. I mean, these people weren't 40, but I mean,
no.
But yes,
but
they were icons of television.
Yeah. And you can't imagine. It's like when Maury Povich dies. He's not dead, by the way. But if he does, we'll all be like, God, you're not the father. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Jerry and I watched some old Jerry Springer episodes after he died, and they were hilarious.
Jerry.
We loved it.
I don't remember watching it.
The original Jerry Springers were so goddamn funny.
God, they are funny.
Because now they're like, towards the end, I mean, he'd been doing it for 25 years, so they kind of knew what kind of people to get on there.
Yes.
But back then, they were raw. These were people that we're like, where did these people come from?
I know.
Oh my God. There's people who exist in this world like that? I mean, it was so crazy.
Okay. So that's the gist. We talked about it last week briefly, but the Titan submarine imploded.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Under the sea. I think that will be repeatedly brought up throughout our lives because it's so insane.
It's kind of like,
it's so insane. And, billionaire's going to billionaire. So this is what happens.
Well, we'll look back and be like, those idiots.
Arrogant fool.
Dumb.
Operated by a PlayStation remote.
I mean, come on. It just has disaster written all over it.
It's just arrogance.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
It's that whole, I'm so rich, it's not going to affect us. We're going to be fine.
I'm really glad the guy who was running that whole shtick died too.
100%.
Because he would have been the most hated man on the planet if he wasn't down there with those people.
I really wish I had been down there. Yeah, we all do too, buddy.
Yeah, right?
Which he was. But I think that would be the topper of the pop culture events of 2023 is that submarine implosion.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Well, we all wanted them to be alive. I know you were like, oh, we knew they weren't alive. They
were dead so quickly.
I pretty much thought they were dead too, but then again, and we talked about this last week on the show or last time, but the banging did get me for a moment.
Yeah, I just don't think that's it. I mean, yes, I remember that, and I'm like, no way. First of all,
same.
I don't think it's kind of like the concept you and I were talking about. I can't conceive the ability to pay somebody $250,000 a month and it not really affect my life.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
That does not compute. What also does not compute is how deep they were.
Oh, Jamie.
You can't compute how deep the Titanic really is in the ocean. It's really hard to conceive.
Well, for Jerry and I think
you can't.
I think this was one of the reasons why Jerry was so fascinated with that particular. He couldn't stop watching. It was making me crazy. I was at work and he was texting me every 5. They heard something. I mean, it was this went on.
Yeah.
But we are both certified scuba divers, and you have to learn about ADAs and pressure and all that stuff when you're learning to become a diver. So there is some knowledge you do have inherently. You've learned things about that and how it affects the body and mass and all that stuff. So for me and him, it was just unfucking believable that they were going that deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went to 100 feet and I was petrified.
That's terrifying.
100 feet. It's nothing.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, if you and I stood 100 feet apart, I'd be scared.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so for this thing to be going 12,000 feet, it was so.
And they were at 3,600 feet.
It was crazy to think about. Yeah.
I don't even know what that looks like in reality.
Honestly.
And so for me to
it's miles.
It's terrifying.
Miles.
So for me, first of all, there's nothing. If somebody would have to put a gun to my head and say, you've got to get on this, I'm like, you're going to have to shoot me.
Yeah, I'd rather die. I'm
not getting on it.
No.
Because no.
Yeah.
No.
Although, I mean, we often talk, since we talk about death so often, we talk about wanting things to be instantaneous. I mean, talk about instantaneous.
Yeah. I keep reading little comments, people saying they heard the weird sounds. They heard the clicks, the creaking. They heard the cracking. They knew something was going wrong. I'm sure there were alarms going off, la, la, la.
For seconds.
They did. I don't know. I don't know either. What this whole contraption was. I don't know anything about it.
I mean, anything that goes deep, as you start to go down, it does squeeze. And that's why you learn about when you're becoming a diver, about not holding your breath. And because your lungs are being squeezed as you go down.
I'm getting anxiety.
It does give you anxiety. That's why I can't.
Oh my God.
And so, yes. So things do get crushed as they can go down. So
it just feels like maybe.
So it would make a noise, but it wouldn't be a noise that you wouldn't expect. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be strange. Why is it making? No, you know it's going to do that. Yes. But so the moment that it actually imploded, it was probably nobody.
They said that the implosion was faster than the brain can conceive pain.
Absolutely.
Which is very
And
fast.
I'm fine with that.
Same.
I don't want to die on a goddamn airplane where I'm plummeting to the ground.
I don't either.
I just really don't want to do that. Like there's so few things that
I would be like, is there any way for me to leap out of this thing before it hits the ground? I'd rather die of a heart attack.
Honest to God.
I'd rather freeze to death in the air and then land.
100%. That is one of my most terrifying thoughts, is dying in an airplane. I don't know why. It's just such a scary thought to me.
You know what I love? It's not haha funny or anything, but what I love is when we say like weird things that trigger us or scare the crap out of us. People who are a little hippy dippy will say, oh, it's usually because in a previous life something happened to you and that's why, that's probably how you died or you experienced it. And I'm like, really? So there's a reason why I don't want to be buried alive?
Right?
Like, it's like, or can be on fire.
Jamie, I dreamed the other night and I stopped analyzing.
I thought it was just like human, like normal humans don't want to die like that.
No, we don't want to die. But what is it about us specifically? And I say you and I, because I don't even think our other two sisters have they don't dream the way we do.
What about being murdered?
I mean, it's not always that. Like, okay, so you are the only person who will relate to this dream that I could not figure out for the life of me. And I'm like, why are you trying to figure it out? You're never going to understand why you dreamed about a bird that was walking by you that was injured and you were looking at it and there was blood coming off of it. So you tried to help it and it was skinned and it had a hole in it that was gushing blood.
Oh, that's full on symbolism.
You think?
Oh, hardcore.
But for what?
I'm going to look it up. I
woke up and I'm like, and I was like, oh,
full on symbolism.
I'm like, why?
It's psychology. It's like, just like when people dream about water is about your emotions.
Yeah.
And the reason that I started looking into the psychological aspects of dreaming is because I couldn't stop dreaming about tsunamis and I kept getting stuck in tsunamis. I would be in like San Francisco and there'd be waves coming at me that were like miles high
and you were like overwhelmed.
The anxiety was next level. Started to see something that massive coming at me. But then sometimes I would be in the middle of the ocean and one would come, or I would be in a puddle, or I'd be swimming in blue, calm waters. And I'm like,
then all of a sudden,
why am I dreaming about water so much?
Interesting.
And they say that water is a symbol of emotion.
Oh.
And if it's tumultuous or murky, or you're stuck in a stormy water, hurricane-y type thing, or tsunamis, you are in some kind of tumultuous feeling, like something tumultuous is going on in your life. And sure as shit, it would always be.
Well, in my life, there's always something, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I
so
never live a calm life.
Water is something that I always dream about. And so I started doing research on it. So I will definitely, like, bread is symbolism of Jesus.
Interesting. Well, my go-to reoccurring dream, and it presents itself in a variety of different scenarios, but it's always basically the same thing as I'm always being chased.
Oh yeah.
Someone's always trying to get me. And sometimes it's they're trying to kill me. Sometimes I'm just being chased for other reasons.
And you don't even know.
But I'm always running or evading or trying to get away.
And I'll have to look it up.
And so the bird dream was actually a part of that. I was So I don't know. I don't know why.
Birds are symbolic. I will have to look that
up. It was an injured bird.
Before we say goodbye, do we have any predictions for next year?
Oh my. Well, I will say this, it doesn't really matter, but at least in America, next year is a major election year for us. And it's kind of a big deal because we're at a kind of a weird time politically with the candidates who are being considered.
You act like we have a lot of foreign listeners.
I thought we had a lot of people in Nigeria that listen.
I think we have a couple princes. That's it.
Well, for those of you who are like thousands and thousands and continents away.
For those non-Americans who are listening, we have something called elections.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, I think that's going to be a big deal for us.
I don't even give a shit
Well,
anymore.
many people don't, but a lot of people do.
Don't give a fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of the people, because I work in government, it's always a big topic.
Okay, well, anything good?
The presidential election.
Is there anything good?
Well, I don't know. Are we having an Olympics this year?
Yeah, it's in France.
Great. The Winter Olympics? Summer Olympics. Okay, I can never keep up.
So fun.
That's always fun.
I love this.
I absolutely. Olympics. And that is the thing that we can all get on board, no matter what country you reside in.
Thank God.
Because all countries are represented, and it's a great thing. It's fun.
Yeah, the Summer Olympics.
And it's always interesting to see what the Russians are going to do. Like, what cheating are they going to do?
They're not even allowed to participate.
Well, they come up with these other things called, like the Russian Republic of whatever.
They'll allow certain athletes to participate under like a white flag, but they can't represent Russia. So we'll see how many athletes actually get to participate. But
I always like it because of the controversy. They're always trying to pull some shit. I'm like, what are you going to try now?
Generally speaking, Russia's not allowed to participate. Yeah. They're attacking people, so they're not allowed to play.
Well, they've cheated. They cheat.
And Germany, too, so many times. The steroids.
Like, when are you going to learn?
They don't care.
We're going to... Right?
They're like, we'll just do it till we get away with it, and then we'll be like, oh, look, we won, you know? They're like, you're going to take...
And what gets me is, like, in sports, it's like, why do you want to win like that, though?
Because they don't care.
They just don't give a fuck.
They're like, what's a rule? Rules? What? No, we don't do rules.
Yeah, we don't want to win the right way.
Please.
We don't care about being honorable.
No, they don't. I'm trying to think of some predictions. Let's see. I'm going to predict...
Super Bowl.
I'm going to predict that the Niners go to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I'm also going to predict that Barbie is going to win a ton of Oscars.
That will be interesting to see. I hope so. But it's always the ones that you think should and they get snubbed. Barbie, and this will be good. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because for as progressive as we are, we shall see.
Hollywood's not that progressive.
Thank you.
No.
Let's see.
And then I'm going to predict some pregnancies.
Oh, no. Okay, who just got married?
No one. I'm going to predict, this is a reach.
Paris Hilton just had another fucking baby, by the way.
She didn't have anything, but she surrogated.
I was trying to figure out how it was physically possible for her to have another child.
She said they were surrogates. She can't have children.
Both her kids?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes, the baby boy and the baby girl. She has a girl that she hasn't shown us.
Well, that one's just... No, the boy is the one that just got born. No, it was a girl.
The girl, London.
Because everybody...
the baby girl's named London.
Because the one she had, everybody was saying how ugly it was.
It's not ugly.
The first baby.
The baby boy's not ugly at all.
Jamie, people were being horrible.
Yeah, because he has a big head.
Yeah.
And now she puts hats on it and no one knows.
Because everybody was,
Well, because he has a condition.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know.
She was like, she came out and was like, why are people so cruel? How can you say things about my child? Blah, blah, blah.
And you know what? That's real rich coming from Paris Hilton. I'm just saying. Because she's made a living for years.
Seriously,
in the
criticizing
people.
Anybody.
So it's very difficult coming from her. Yeah. But... she's doing what I like Paris Hilton personally.
I do not like her.
But yeah, she.
I like her better than I like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I mean,
well, just because Taylor's dragging Kim again right now because she just became Time's Person of the Year,
which we did not really talk about. I forgot. But anyway, I am going to predict my outrageous predictions because I can say whatever I want, whether it happens or not.
Yeah,
I think that Taylor Swift is going to get pregnant.
Oh my gosh, I want her to.
She's 32.
She needs to.
So I think she's going to have her baby.
She doesn't need to. That was a dumb thing to say.
No, you're right. But I do think
she wants to have a family.
She's always said that she wanted children, but her tour is going to come to an end soon, and she's going to be writing some records. And I think this would be
a good time.
I think it would be shocking. And so everybody would be like, oh my God. Like they lose their collective shit and there'd be a baby Swiftie. And I think that it's just a prediction. I don't know.
And if it's Kelsey, if it's Travis, I mean, they would make absolutely beautiful children.
He's very handsome. And she's beautiful.
Yes.
So with all that being said, my prediction is I think there will be some celeb pregnancies this year. I'd like to say that Taylor will be one of them. Mm-hmm. And then who else?
Maybe Kendall Jenner. Ugh, I hate her.
I don't give a fuck about those people.
Cunt, but yeah. But she's due.
Here's my other crazy prediction. I think there will be a baby Bieber. I think we're going to have a baby Swift.
I hate fucking Hailey Bieber.
And a baby Bieber.
Yeah. Well, not Selena Gomez.
She's dating a boy.
She is. Now. No. What's the other? Vanessa Hudgens just got married.
Okay.
She literally got married last weekend.
All right.
Which I didn't even know she was in that kind of... And I like Vanessa Hudgens.
I do too.
So maybe she'll have a baby.
We're all in this together.
Yes.
Okay, so those are my pregnancy predictions. So we'll see if I'm right.
I'd like to see Shakira have a better year. I think Shakira's...
Wherever. Yeah, I'd like to see her have a better life.
She needs a little break. She's had it rough with her tax evasion issues in that other country.
You think anyone's going to die?
Well, always.
Wonder who.
Clint Eastwood is still alive. The man is like 99.
He is chugging along.
He's old as shit. That can't last much longer. Jane Fonda is very old.
Jane Fonda had leukemia too.
That's true. She did. I forgot about that.
I don't want her to die.
I don't want her to die, but Jamie, she's old. She's like 91.
She's in her 90s.
She is. So
are your predictions Clint Eastwood and Jane Fonda?
I mean, it could be.
You have to make them.
Well, all right. If I have to make them, then that would be those two or one of those two.
All right.
Yeah. I also think Jimmy Carter has a fair chance of dying. I think it's possible.
Yes. All I want to know is why couldn't they just put a mask on him during the funeral?
And perhaps Bruce Willis.
Oh.
And Shannon Doherty.
Okay.
Neither of them do I want to die, but they both are in a precarious situation right now.
I would agree. I would say Shannon Doherty's is up there.
I really don't want her to die. God,
I love her so much.
I do too. She's gotten such a fucking raw deal with this situation.
I remember when we used to watch Beverly Hills 902, and I have never not been Team Brenda.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
I loved her on that show. And when she left to go to England to go to that, the plot or the storyline where she leaves the show because she was over those people.
Yeah.
She's another woman who Kim Cattrall level, Sharon Stone level, where it's like, you can call me a bitch all you want, but this is my freaking career and this is what I freaking want. And if you're going to do this, I'm out. Right. And then she was out. She's so good.
But because she's a woman, she's a bitch,
and she's a bitch. And I'm like, fine then. I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
You know who else? You know how many successful women are? Jessica Chastain. She's like, I'm not putting up with no shit.
I love her.
And if you don't want to work with me, that's okay.
And I still want to know if she's related to Kate Chastain.
Oh, I know.
Because they kind of look alike.
They don't acknowledge it. And you and I looked it up and it said, no, they're not related.
I know.
But that doesn't mean it's true.
I just find it awkward that they're both from Sacramento and they both have the same last name and they look alike.
And they're like, no, we're not related. It's just a weird coincidence.
And Kate Chastain. Now, Jessica Chastain, I think there's more known about her because she's way more famous, obviously. But they're both. But Kate Chastain is just so incredibly private about her life.
Maybe that's
like
why.
Where she came from, who her parents are, all of that shit. It's all a mystery.
Interesting. Well, maybe we'll find out this year. Maybe we'll find out in 2024 if she's related.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter because Kate Chastain's not famous. But.
So those are our predictions, and I think I may post those in the new year as a post on our social media.
Yeah,
that way we have it, and we can go back and say, "Look how incredibly wrong we were."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched,
I'm not going to put the death predictions on there. That's kind of cruel.
No, that is morbid.
But I'll do the other ones.
I'm just saying, like, those are people that are super famous that are really, really old.
No, you're right.
If any of those people die, none of us would really be surprised. We'd be like, "Oh well, they were really old." The Hot Ones. I have not watched an episode of Hot Ones in a really long time. Oh. And I watched it. I got on a roll. I went onto YouTube and started watching it, and I watched Bobby Flay.
How did he? Oh, he's.
The thing about Bobby Flay Jerry loves him for some reason. I don't know why. We watched a whole. He did a season of L.A. touring restaurants
with his daughter.
With his daughter Sophie.
We did it. Yeah, we watched it.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. It
is cute.
It's the only time that he acts like kind of normal when he's with his daughter.
He's very ego driven.
Hell yeah. But
very ego driven.
Yeah, for sure. So I did like him on Hot Ones because that is the one show that it really breaks down anybody. Like it really takes
the flavor
it'll take the wind out of your sails no matter who you are.
Are we going to do a third? You think we'll do one this year?
I think we have to.
I think I want to because this year. So here's a couple. Let's do some show predictions.
Yeah, our show.
We have vowed to start filming.
We have.
And we have the cameras.
But now you said it out loud.
We don't have the ring lights. Well, we do have one ring light, but
there's nothing stopping us other than we don't want to do it. Like we want to do it, but we don't.
We can we're going to do it.
We've been talking about not having the proper equipment for years.
We have the proper equipment, so we're going to do it.
And anything we don't have, we could get very easily.
We're going to do it.
It's not like we're talking about, tens of thousands of dollars that we need to invest in.
Producer Deb is incredibly excited.
Of course he is. He likes to take photos of you all the time.
He's incredibly excited. He goes, "Am I going to be able to sit in and produce the show?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, he kind of has to.
He's afraid. He thinks that I would have some kind of performance anxiety if he's in the room. I'm like, no,
because we don't. Our biggest fear is looking ugly or fat or all of the above.
All of it.
So there's no way. There's no way to not have that happen if we don't have someone in the room.
Right.
Otherwise, it guarantee we will look like shit.
So we're gonna have. So the setup will be a little bit different, and so that is a goal is to go have YouTube become a thing.
Yeah, or whatever platform we choose.
Well, YouTube is the best place.
YouTube, I suppose. I'd love to have a TikTok, but
we do have a TikTok.
I mean, a TikTok that we were on.
Oh, you mean like our face?
Not just our voices.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yes. And then so prediction. So that we'll do that. hot ones. And
the hot ones would be funny to do that on video.
Yes.
Because it is funny as shit. And I was thinking about how fun it was to have my son do it, but except for the fact that he
vomited.
He threw up at the end.
He vomited. And I'm like, I don't think you should do this with us.
And if you look on the bottles of the hot ones, it says do not give to children.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
he can do it.
And then he threw up and I'm like,
I threw up.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And he threw up everything, all the nuggets,
Jamie.
Everything.
Yeah, I had to clean it up.
All
I was
the Dole
on my
Whip.
hands and knees.
I offered. You're like, no!
Jamie, I was I wasn't humiliated because it's you, but at the same time, I'm like, no one's cleaning up my son's throw up but me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done it before. I've done it many times. In 12 years, I've cleaned up my son's bodily functions.
Mm-hmm. It's so fun. Mm-hmm.
He's not quite to the age yet where I can make him do it, and I just wouldn't. I just think that's mean.
He's still young.
Well, I made my nephew Ryan clean up his own shit when he shit his pants when he was like 7.
That's different
because he needed to learn.
He didn't have diarrhea. He just didn't want to poop in the toilet.
No, he didn't want to stop playing his brand new PlayStation that he got from his dad. So he pooped his pants instead.
It's like, well, guess what we're doing?
I'm like, I am not cleaning that up. You are human.
Clean up. Everybody does their share.
Paula was so mad at me.
That you made him clean up his own shit?
Because I was really mad, and I think I yelled at him, and probably I made it a big deal. I was like, "You're in trouble. You are in trouble."
He shit his pants.
He did, but she's like, "You wait till you have a son. You'll see what it's like."
Has he ever shit his pants playing the PlayStation?
My son? Absolutely. Jamie.
Did you make him clean it up?
Yes.
Okay,
but this is the thing. Like me and all my friends, or any people I know, even not even friends per se, this is a thing.
What?
Kids do this thing.
I don't understand.
They can't stop playing their motherfucking video games or whatever it is, and these things happen.
You know,
so I'm not alone.
The worst thing that happened is when we had PlayStation and Tyler was like 8 or 9 and he was playing, and Tyler would stop. He would dance around like he had to pee
and then bolt.
But he would bolt, but we didn't have he would just scream and cry when he couldn't win.
Oh,
he would throw full on tantrums.
So did Jeff.
And I'd walk in and be like, ah! And I'm like, what is happening? He's like, I can't get this thing.
Oh my God,
like,
that was my son.
All right, that's it. You need to take a break. You know, and
100% this was my son.
Yeah. And then he would get furious that I'd make him take a break. And I'm like, too bad.
You can't be like suicidal because you're losing on a game. Yes.
Like, it's done.
This was my son.
I understand the frustration. I get it, but you need to take a breather.
Yeah.
You need to go outside.
Yeah.
Walk
oh my
around,
God. And then I
air.
would laugh, and Jeff would get so angry because I would laugh. Because I would walk in and he'd be like, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, tears pouring down his face. He was so upset.
No.
I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, well, that is the show. Our final show of 2023 has come and gone.
I know.
Thank you so much for listening to us all this year.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.
Yes, happy holidays, happy New Year, happy all the things.
Happy Hanukkah.
All the things. And please follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I don't do Twitter anymore. I am on Threads.
I'm on Threads too.
We do have Twitter.
And by the way, I'm really curious to know.
We're on YouTube. Look for us on YouTube. It's always the same. It's The Ugly Truth.
Are y'all following me on TikTok because of the show? Because I have so many followers that are literally strangers. I literally have no idea who you are.
Maybe.
But it's just like so-and-so is following you. So I'm like, who? Yeah. Who?
Yes, probably.
So identify yourself.
Because I, we're tagged on everything we do. So
yeah,
if you don't want me to, I can stop tagging.
No, I don't mind.
Oh, okay.
I just find it funny that every time we do the show, like within 3 or 4 days, I get all these people that I don't know who they are.
Yes.
And I'm like, where are you coming from?
They're coming from everywhere.
Right.
From
I guess
Spotify
so. I suppose. Yeah.
They're from the iTunes, Stephanie.
And they must be so disappointed because I literally have no videos.
You just like
posted.
everything.
I just watch.
I'm just a liker. Yeah. So, but we are on TikTok and YouTube and Insta are the top 3 ones that we do. Facebook too. So please follow us in your off time, and you'll see all of our shenanigans.
Yeah, we do.
We do post clips and whatnot.
Have some shenanigans.
Rate us, review us.
We have to watch Teresa and Gary get married.
We will discuss that on our
January
first
4th.
episode.
Yeah, because that's the new year.
Yeah, so we'll discuss that on our returning episode in 2024. We'll talk about the wedding.
And I'm looking for, I don't know about you, but I've been trying to find something that we can start watching for our mini episodes again. But
I thought we were going to do The Bachelor.
You said, well, you watch it and see if you like it. And I will. I don't know when it starts. It's not till next month.
It starts in January.
Right.
Right after the wedding.
And I'm really hoping that Top Chef will reveal itself soon. I mean, come on.
I personally think there's a reason why.
It's taking so long?
Yes.
Production?
I am wondering if there's some maybe issues with the new host or something.
Well, I know they're filming.
I know.
But
I'm just saying that maybe they're having to do some extra.
It's just taking for fucking ever.
Yeah, there might be a reason. We'll find out. Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to be brutal.
I am too.
I just am.
Everyone's so goddamn excited, and I'm like not.
Why? I'm not.
Know. We loved her. We love Kristen Kish. I don't.
I have consumed everything that she has ever hosted, and I find her to be really boring.
She's so fucking boring.
I think she's probably a delightful human.
I'm sure she is.
Amazing chef.
There's a lot of people who are delightful human beings, but they're terrible on TV.
Smart. She's beautiful. She's all the things. Have no interest in her being a host of anything, but we are in the minority apparently.
I know we are. Well, and so here's the thing: when you make such a drastic change as losing the host you've had for 20 seasons,
it's no one's going
to love it. But the season it has to be epic. Like all the other things about it have to be so amazing that you're kind of forgetting that you have a new host.
Yeah, they're gonna have to overhaul it.
So I'm wondering, like,
I hope they do.
They will.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they don't overhaul it, they just, they really outdid themselves with this last show. With
the final was amazing.
The World Series, the World, whatever they called it,
International.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good. But where do you go from there? Like, how do you make it even better? How do you continue to top what you've already done?
I think I read it's going to be in like Minnesota or something.
Oh, fuck.
That's what I heard.
Why?
I don't know. It's an up and coming food area. Wisconsin or Philadelphia. I don't know. It's something over there.
It's like when they did Oklahoma. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Come on.
That was.
What are we doing? I struggled with Oklahoma.
I think I blocked it out.
I watched it, but it was just, ugh.
I actually stopped watching Top Chef for a little bit.
I never stopped watching Top Chef.
I know.
I will never stop watching. Like, I will never stop watching Below Deck.
Right.
Even though Captain Lee is gone, I continue to watch it.
Rip.
It's so hard.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful new year, and we'll be back in 2024.
See you next year.
Bye.